think about like how the hell I got here, what my next moves are maybe. So let's just start from the top. So about a year ago, maybe not a year, around this time last year, yeah, no, a little earlier, I think around when I turned 25, in December of 2014, I decided, I gave myself a deadline that I wanted to move out of the state by, I think it was like June 1st. It was something like some midpoint. And I gave myself that deadline with absolutely zero idea of how I was gonna like accomplish it. Like I had no idea where I was gonna move or anything. I just knew that I wanted to move and try other stuff. So I gave myself that deadline, and gave myself that deadline. And there was a conference in March that I booked out here in Arizona in Scottsdale. It's a conference ran by the author of The Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco. It's an annual meetup. So I just signed up. That was my first time attending. And the story of how that goes is actually funny. I got in contact with with Chris Waldron. I can't remember how I got in contact with him, but I did, and I was doing some work for him, and then the topic of going to the conference just came up somehow. I don't remember how it happened, but it came up, and he said like if I can afford it, I should just go. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I put my name on the list, and he was a super nice guy. He talked to me for maybe an hour or two. I remember specifically, he said like his dinner was getting cold at the end because like he was just talking to me, and his wife made dinner, and he was talking to me for, this was my first time talking to him over the phone. And he was just giving me advice, like life advice. Like I was telling him what my situation was, how I was feeling, and he just told me to go. Eventually he just told me to go to the conference if I can afford it. So I was like, screw it, whatever. But I signed up. It was actually, the tickets were already sold out, and I put myself on the wait list, and eventually they opened up and they had enough tickets. So then around March in 2015, I arrived here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm actually not in Scottsdale, I'm in Arcadia, so I'm like about like maybe a couple miles away from where the meetup initially was. And came here, didn't know anyone. Also wanted to couch surf, so I actually came here a week early just so I can couch surf because I really wanted to, and I've never done that before. So I couch surfed, and then went to the meetup, and then eventually I met a couple guys. Jason, who I don't think he planned intentionally, but they talked about how the year before, Jason and then Andrew and then I believe it was Boris, they all three of them didn't really know each other, but they were working with each other and decided to like move in together across the country, essentially to Arizona. And that seed kind of got planted in my head. I was like, okay, well I have a deadline in June that I set for myself of wanting to move out of Michigan, and these guys did it. They moved across the country with some guys. I mean, granted, they knew each other before. So I went in, I didn't know anyone. And I thought about, like, maybe I can find someone to room with and move across the country with. I really want to get it together and just, sick of their lives or whatever, and then just move across the country. So that was in my head. I went through the conference, it was cool, I met a lot of cool people, but I actually the conference was 3 days, I never actually left the conference with like a solid foundation of, wow, like, you, me, let's all move in together, like, let's do it. It was more like, I met some people, and then eventually, maybe, I don't remember, maybe a week or two later, a guy, Mark, he messaged me on the forums. He was like, I remember you said you want to like move like out to Arizona possibly, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, me and like another guy, Byron, are thinking about it too. So we got on a Skype call and just talked for maybe like 10 minutes, and we were like, just screw it, whatever, man, like, let's do it. So we did it. We freaking just did it, man. We just said, screw it, whatever, let's do it. And we freaking moved across the country together. And that was it. I mean, I met them for maybe 2 days, talked to Byron for maybe like less than 30 minutes, like an hour total. Mark, he was my roommate, like rooming there, living at the, where we stayed at the hotel. So I like sort of knew him, but like leaving the conference, I didn't actually think like, oh, I'm gonna room with this guy. But that happened, and we were like, okay, let's do it. We like applied for a lease, and then like we weren't sure if we were gonna be accepted yet. Like with 3 random dudes from across the country. Like I have no idea what their credit is. Like I don't know how that situation's gonna go. And we just said we did it. We got approved, and we got approved, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm moving across the country to Arizona then. So I ended up doing that, and now I'm here probably 6 months later, or 7 months later. So my lease ended with them about two months ago. Both of them decided to go back home for their own reasons, and then I decided to stay back out here because I heard that the Arizona winter, which is right now, was super amazing, and that I had to be here during the Arizona winter. So right now it's beginning of February, it's 70 degrees outside right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that's a short story of it. I guess I may be missing some details because I'm riding a motorcycle and trying to think about how the hell I ended up here. Which, I mean, I think it was pretty cool story in itself, but just taking that jump, right? Like, I mean, I completely left out the part where I was scared shitless about moving across the country with 2 random strangers that I met. It could have gone horribly wrong, but it didn't. I got out here, and then I started like building a network slowly because I didn't have a network coming out here. I just reached out to the Entrepreneurs Association, reached out to people in the forums. Like I was being proactive about like doing things, and yeah, and eventually it just all came together. So I have like a little network now, and I'm out here. I learned how to ride a motorcycle because of 2 other forum members who I hung out with. They always showed up on their bikes. I'm like, I've always wanted to learn how to ride a bike. You guys are riding bikes? God damn it, I need to ride a bike. So it took me a little bit before I actually did it, but I set a goal. I was like, if I make X amount in a month, then I'm just gonna buy a bike then. And I hit the goal, and now so I bought a bike, and now I know how to ride a bike. But that's the short of it. I might you know, hone in the story a little bit more, because this is right off the cuff, telling the story of how I got out here. But that's essentially what happened. Like that's pretty much what happened. I gave myself a deadline, June of last year, 2015. Came to the conference in March. Met 2 guys. A week or 2 later, we applied for a lease across the country here in Scottsdale. We were accepted. And we just all 3 of us just booked it. One from Atlanta, one's from Pennsylvania, and we just booked it, and we moved across the country together in a 3-bedroom apartment in Old Town Scottsdale. And that's the story of how I got here. Oh, big bump. That's the story of how I got here. So there's the highway. Actually, I'm not ready to ride the highway yet because I'm still relatively new at riding a motorcycle, and I don't think this bike is fast enough. The combination of the bike not being fast enough, and the fact that that's probably not safe, and the fact that I'm still newish probably is not a good combination to go on the highway with, because it's just like a 250, and I don't want to do that on a highway. But anyway, that's how I got here. Because I mean, I've been thinking about this the past week. Like, I've been working a lot lately, and I haven't like been really taking things in, like trying to understand like how I got out here, because it's pretty wild. At least to me, I think it's pretty wild. At least moved across the country with 2 strangers. That's a big SUV. Oh, shitty roads. 16th Street. I'm turning on 12th Street. So I'm going to the motorcycle store to return some gloves because they didn't fit me. Mom and Dad are visiting Tuesday, so I just want to get all of my errands and stuff done before they come, because then we're gonna go to San Francisco for about a week. It is really hot right now. Hopefully it didn't affect my audio with adjusting my collar. Oh no, I don't think that's my collar. I think that's just the thing. Is it? I don't know. It's hot. Jesus Christ. I don't know. That is my collar, I think. It's attached to something. I don't know. Oh, fuck. I don't want to pull it away from my mic. I might mess up my mic. That'd suck. Okay, I'm getting off tangent now. I'll just fix it on the next stop. So, yeah. So, I mean, this all just started, like, I wouldn't, none of this would have happened by myself. This is all, like, other, like, and you need people in your life to help you do things. Like, we're not little, like, islands. We're not little islands. This little guy. We're not islands. So, like, if Chris Waldron never talked to me that one day and mentioned the conference, I wouldn't be riding this motorcycle in the middle of Arizona, 70 degrees in the beginning of February right now. So I am very grateful for him to spend that time. It's probably like an hour or two. His dinner got cold and everything. It was my first time talking to him on the phone. If he didn't talk to me, I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd probably still be in Michigan or something. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But what I do know is that I more than 99% wouldn't be here in Arizona, at least. And it was just making that jump, you know. So I've always thanked him. I said, like, if it wasn't for you, like, I wouldn't have been out here. But he's like, well, like, it's not just me. I could have said it to you, but you had to ultimately make the decision to come out here, right? Like, you had to make the decision to come out here. I didn't force you to come out here. I just kind of maybe planted the seed, but I didn't force you to come out here. But again, like, I'm super grateful for him and everyone that's been part of this ride so far. It's been like it's been an amazing ride. There's 12th Street. Oh, let's get this. So, one thing you find out when you ride a motorcycle during the weather, it's like when you stop, it gets really hot. Because when you keep moving, that's when you get airflow. But yeah, always on the motorcycle guy. I'm part of the motorcycle club. Yeah. So I think this video blog is, or this vlog is more, I mean, it'd be nice to help people, but it's more for myself to, like, kind of reflect on how I got here, like, literally how I ended up on a motorcycle riding in 70 weather in Arizona in the beginning of February. And, like, it all boils down to, like, making that jump for whatever the jump is for you. Like, my jump was, I moved across the country from Michigan to Arizona. And it's one of the greatest decisions of my life. And one of the scariest decisions of my life. Like, I left everyone that I knew to come to the state that I've never lived in before, with two guys that I met on essentially the internet. But it ended up being worth it, you know? And if I hadn't have taken that leap, then I would not have gotten out here. I would have never made it out here, right? I really want to adjust this collar thing on my neck. Let's see. See if I can pop this puppy in neutral. Adjust it. Puppy in neutral. Where are you? This thing is stuck. There we go. Hopefully I didn't kill the mic. Let's see if I'm still recording. I'm still recording. Hopefully I didn't kill the mic. So yeah, man. Like, I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle. I'm riding a motorcycle. And a lot of these things just boil down to making that initial jump. I don't feel like being aggressive right now. So this is amazing, man. Like, look, there's a guy, he's wearing a tank top. It's the beginning of February. Look at that house up there. I think that's a house or apartment or something. Look at that's wild. Is my camera getting that? Jesus, look at that. This makes me a little nervous. Speed limit is 35. I don't want to push it. Like I'm literally in this, like, I mean, they call Phoenix the Valley, and I mean, this is just beautiful. I'm literally in a valley. I didn't really understand why it was called the valley at first, to be honest. And like now I realize, like, I'm surrounded by mountains all around me, so it's essentially like a valley. One of the things, oh, there we go. One of the things I hate when riding a motorcycle actually is, like, I can't see far enough to tell how far the countdown timer is, so I can't gauge the light. If I had Hawkeyes, I could probably gauge it, but I saw it counting down, but I just had no idea how far it was counting down at. If you ever learn how to ride a motorcycle, you start noticing that you pay attention to walk signs a lot more, because that's when it tells you when the light's gonna turn. So right now you see that's a walk sign, is still a walking guy, so the light's not gonna turn anytime soon. It turns when you see it, like, counting down. What's going on here? I've never actually taken this road before. I'm avoiding the highway to get to the motorcycle store because I don't know how to ride. I mean, I just never have ridden on the motorcycle on the highway yet, so I don't want to ride it yet. So I don't feel I am experienced enough yet to ride on the highway, and this bike is probably not fast enough to ride on the highway. But I'm pretty sure I turn left here. Left here, Cave Creek. I'm pretty sure I just go all the way down. Oh, here we go. But yeah, man. Or man or girl. Again, the speech isn't very refined, it's very off the cuff, so I didn't really have a narrative for this. I guess narrative is essentially just you gotta make the jump for whatever the jump is for you. Mine was jumping across the country. Because I wouldn't be able to experience the things that I've experienced if I hadn't. You know, I'm young still. Like, if it was a mistake, I still had time to fall back on. So I mean, I'm not 40 or anything, so I can't give advice to 4-year-olds. But if you're like in your 20s and you're on the cusp of trying to decide, like, should I make this really bold decision or not? If you feel like, if you're leaning towards you should, then chances are you should, because you're young and you'll be able to recover for if anything goes wrong, you know. But I know the motorcycle store is here somewhere. I just need to make sure I don't drive past it. 45. Oh, this guy, I hate it when they turn their wheels. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to get I guess my next move, I'm considering moving to Colorado, because I don't know if I mean, it's really hot in Arizona. I moved here in the middle of the summer and it's really, really hot. And I was considering just moving to Colorado because Always wanted to live in Colorado. It seems cool. Why not? I'm young, and I need to try different things out, you know? And again, it goes back to if I fuck up or something goes wrong, I can still recover because I'm young. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story is just go for whatever it is that, just taking chances, taking risks while you're young. Because I mean, that's the only experience I have, so I can't give experience to 4-year-olds. But while you're young, take any chances that you want to take, man. Because I'm guessing once you have responsibilities, once you have like kids, a wife, it's gonna be harder. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's gonna be harder to recover from something like moving across the country and everything going to shit. But again, just my experience. I guess, yeah, that's the story of how I moved across the country and ended up riding on a motorcycle in 70-degree weather in the beginning of February. Like, I just can't put it into words really. Like, everything that's happened since I've moved out here, like, I've made more money than I've ever made. I've eaten more awesome foods. I've had more amazing, like, I've had, like, maybe not more, but I've had a lot of experiences that I would have not experienced otherwise had I not moved out here. And like, even just riding this motorcycle, I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle prior to moving out here. It was because I moved out here, and then 2 of the people from the forum that I hung out with, they always showed up on bikes, and then just through association, like, damn, they're on bikes, like, there's literally no reason why I shouldn't be on a bike. So I set a goal, I hit the goal, and then I ended up learning how to ride a bike, and now I'm riding a bike, you know? And it all boils down to, you gotta take the action. Oh, there it is. Here we are. There's cycle gear. You gotta take the initiative. Oh, this guy's going here too, I guess. No? So again, I'm saying this again, I'm repeating myself. I need to go back to public speaking classes. I've been off of that for a while. My speaking skills have gone to crap lately. Make the leap, man, or lady. Whatever it is you want to do, you gotta do it now. You gotta make there's an awesome article about this. Life is short. I'll link it in the description, but how life is short and you need to make it, like, build a habit of having an urgency towards doing the things that you want to do. So I'm gonna go run some errands at this cycle shop. I'm just gonna return some stuff, but yeah, maybe I'll record my ride back. But alrighty, deuces.